One feature that is always desirable in a custom inspector is legibility or readability. In layman terms is the how clean is your custom inspector and how easy to read it is. To for that matter, some functions that we have is the simplest one is the editor GUI layout dot space, right? It's same as the Unity's built-in space attribute, but here you can't specify, you can't give a argument to it. You can't specify how much pixel you want. Instead, what you do is repeat the sorry is repeat this space time and time again. So here it will give you around 40 pixels of space between these two variables, between health bar and damage. So this was one of the things to customize the look of your inspector. The other thing is fold out. So if you look at our player if you look at our player script, we still have two variables to show. Let's make fields for weapon 1 damage and weapon 2 damage after the damage, right? So give it a space, separate it from player other properties. Let's make just two float fields for our weapon damage, right? Is editor GUI layout or float field. Here is the string as our label, weapon 1 damage, and here is the variable name. So pretty simple stuff to make a weapon damage field. Just do the same thing for weapon 2 damage. Yep. Now, yeah. So now if you want to encapsulate or arrange these two weapon variables um, as a single thing, what I showed you as a built-in attribute was the header attribute. In the custom inspector, there is another thing called fold outs. Let me write the script for a fold out, then I will explain how they work. So first it will need a variable to determine if it has to show the fold out or not, and the display of these two GUI elements will depend on the fold out bool variable. If it's true, it will show these things or not. So the actual fold out variable is controlled here. Show weapon is editor GUI layout fold out, right? It takes the fold out bool and it takes the label. Let's first see it in action, right? So if you click on this weapon, this arrow here besides the weapon, it will either show you all these variables or it will not show you all these variables. So you can, just like you use regions in your code so that you can minimize, like I will show you inside the code. So you can minimize all this whole function using this small widget here. So you can use the fold out system to minimize blocks of your variables, like many variables inside one heading. In the same context of making your inspector more readable, let's look at indentation. So how you apply indentation is by using editor GUI dot indent level. I will just write the script and then I will show you how it affects things are drawn on your in your inspector. So if we apply a indentation of +2, everything that is written after it is shifted 2 tabs in your custom inspector. So its function is similar to how your lists or arrays are displayed in your normal Unity inspector. This indentation will help you in uh, keeping things more organized inside your inspectors. But just remember, after you have increased the indentation, just remember when you are done to decrease the indentation to its normal value, so that you don't affect everything that comes after it. So if you have more variables after the weapon 1 and weapon 2 damage, they will also be indented if you forget to return the indentation value to its normal value. The next thing that we are going to talk about is displaying message boxes inside your custom inspector. So these message boxes can be shown to show a warning. For example, if you are mistakenly set the health of player too high, if the damage is too high, you can give a warning that guy, please look at this damage, this value is not right. Or if it's necessary to assign a game object in its field so that you don't get any null reference error while the game is playing, you can give an error message till the designer assigned a game object to its field. So we will now look at how you can add simple message boxes to your custom inspector. So let's take the example of this damage, and if this player dot damage, suppose if it's less than 12, you can show a message box saying at the dot layout message box, oh help box, sorry, it's not message box, it's called help box. So what you can write here is that the damage is too low, and you can specify here what kind of message that you want to show. So it can be of type error with the green cross symbol, a simple info with the bubble type of image, or it can be a warning with the exclamation, yellow exclamation thing. So let's give it as a warning. And if player damage is greater than 18, let's give the same error. Damage is too damn high. Right. Now let's look at that in action. So suppose a designer is using your script, he makes the damage too low, he will get a warning that the damage is too low. He's sliding here, increasing it, and the damage is too damn high. Right. So this is an automatic way of telling your designer or anyone when he is using your script, so that he is notified of any warnings or messages. In this case, it was really a simple conversion of comparing the damage, but later it can be a really complex balancing problem. Suppose your health of player will depend on his level, it can depend on his so many different variable parameters, and internally you can calculate a necessary cutoff. The final thing that I will tell you is how to use the horizontal layout. An example of using horizontal layout to show data in a compact fashion is your position variable in your transform inspector. So these XYZ values can be shown in the vertical layout that we have used for our player ID and player name, but to show it in a compact fashion we use the horizontal layout. Horizontal layout basically arranges all your GUI elements packed in the horizontal fashion. The only thing that you have to take care of is that you have to limit the maximum width of your individual GUI elements so that they all can be packed together in a small space. So the X text here, its width is actually very less, so that the X and this float field can stay close together, because otherwise they all try to expand and occupy as much space as possible. And many fields also have a default minimum width space. So here you can see you can't make this, you can't shrink this inspector more than this, because these float input fields have a minimum width under which they can't go. So you have, so in a horizontal layout you will always have to take care of the maximum width that your each elements can occupy, so that they can be seen in a, so they don't overflow the horizontal limits of your inspector. Here is how normally we would show these three variables: the shoe name, shoe size, and shoe type. But what we know is that all these three variables are related to each other, and these fields don't need to be too big. The shoe name can't be this big, and the size and type are also very small fields. So what we can do better is make a horizontal layout, put all those variables in a single line, just like this position field for the transform, to make it more compact and better usable. So what we do is to convert this code where all those three variables are simply vertically laid out. We convert this code to this. See how much difference it makes in the scene. So earlier it was like this, and now every variable is in a single line. So you can write a name like example, its size like 5, and type is shoe, or anything else. So you saw how uh, horizontal layout can really help in compacting your variable input field. Now let's look how the horizontal layout is working here. First you write a simple label above. In we are still in the vertical layout system, so we write our shoe label here, and then in the next line we start with our horizontal layout system by writing begin horizontal. We assign a label. So the uh, formatting is really simple. You assign a label, you write a field, then you assign a label, you assign a field, and then label, and then field. So this is the way how we are writing the GUI elements in the horizontal layout. First we add a label name, then we add a text field, then again a label, then int field, then a label and a text field. The only thing to note here is that I have limited the width of some of those fields, like I have limited the width of the name, so that, so originally if you uh, give if you originally if you write a label, it will try to take as much space as possible. Like this damage is taking this much space, then my slider is starting in this situation. So you want to limit the space your labels take. So the X here is taking just 10 pixels of space, my name here is taking only 50 pixels of space. I want to limit that space so that my fields can be bigger. So what I have done is given the formatting option of GUI layout dot maximum width, which controls the maximum length that it can expand. So I have limited all the labels. My fields are free to expand, and in this way I have compacted these three variables into a single line so that it is easy to look at and easy to modify. So that was some of the basic functions available in the editor GUI layout and the GUI layout systems that can be used to make your custom inspectors more readable, more usable, more designer friendly, and it also increases your productivity. In the next video I will talk about other method of using your variables in writing the custom inspector, which is the serialization method, and which is necessary to write custom inspectors for your prefabs and the multi-editing system. And then we will talk about how you can add buttons to your inspector, so you can do very really nice stuff directly in the edit mode.